Welcome back to Wolf Millionaire's YouTube channel. This episode, I'm going to walk you through Instagram's brand new functionality that they rolled out on October 26th, which allows us now to save a draft post. Now, this is super exciting for those of us who use Instagram to make money because it allows us to be more efficient and more organized, thus allowing me to spend more time chasing advertising deals to actually bring in income. So, let's take a look at the save draft functionality. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how we save a draft in case you're brand new to this. Now, if you remember back a couple weeks ago, I had a hack for this, which basically allowed us to save drafts, but it just didn't allow us to edit them. Go to my blog, blog.wolfmillionaire.com, if you want to see this hack. It's still a nice, easy way to keep posts kind of scheduled. Without scheduling them. It keeps them kind of in a failed mode in your feed, which is kind of like a daily reminder to remind you to post certain things. So it's even though they introduced the save draft functionality natively in the app, the save draft / faux scheduling hack that I blogged about a couple weeks ago is still useful for a lot of my students and I. So let's take a look. Now, one thing you have to remember is you have to update your iOS app to the most recent version, and that will allow you to have the save draft functionality. Now, you won't see any different features in the app, but I'll show you exactly how to activate the save draft. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the camera button, which is the center button in the app, just like we're going to post a photo. Now, that's automatically going to bring up my camera roll, as we can see here. And now, because I have some drafts saved, you'll see that I have another bar under here that says drafts and then manage with the number 24. And this is just me playing around with the draft functionality. If I scroll up, you'll see that I still have the camera roll and the photos that I have, the most recent photos in my camera roll because of the mode that I'm in. And if I wanted to change that to something else, I would just click that up here and select the different folder that I wanted to pull from. But for now, let's take a look at these drafts, and I'll show you how we're going to create a draft so that you can see it populate down here in the drafts camera roll. So let's say we wanted to create a post using any one of these photos that I have in my camera roll. Let's take this green PPI Razor Audi R8 Spider, which was in Monterey, California a couple years ago. And we're going to click next, just like we were actually going to go post this right now. Now, here we have the option to do some edits, add some filters, and if we don't want to do anything, or when we're done, we're going to click next. Now here we're going to write a caption, and just for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to save this. So we're just going to call it an Audi R8, and we can revisit this and edit this caption at a later period. So when I click OK on that, it removes my keyboard, and we can go and we can tag people. Click Done, and we can add a location. And when we're done this, the next logical thing to do would be to click Share, and that would post it live to our Instagram account for others to see in their feed. Now, we don't want to do that. We want to save this as a draft. Well, you don't see any option here to save as draft, which is a little counterintuitive, but really all you have to do is click the back button, click it one more time, and there you go. Now you'll see a thing come up from the bottom that says if you go back now, your image edits will be discarded. And here we have the save draft. Right under this, you see it gets cut off. There's a discard option, which if you hit discard, it will delete the post if you no longer want to use it. And below that is a cancel button. So we want to click on save draft. And there you go, saving draft, and bang. It's now in my draft folder, which is managed by Instagram. This is not going to be a folder, I believe. Nope, we do not see it in the iOS native photo section as a folder. This is an Instagram managed piece, which again, if you are using multiple devices to manage your Instagram account, these saved drafts here will not show up on any other device. They're only showing up on the native device that you are saving these drafts. So let's take a quick peek. I'm going to click on Manage, and it'll bring up the drafts manager in Instagram. And here you can see a bunch of photos that I was just playing around with. And if we click the Audi, the green Audi R8, it'll take a second, you'll see that we're back in the post, and we can, now go back in here and make some edits. And when we're done with that, again, we're just going to hit the back button, and it will save the draft. So it's a very cool way if you're working. So as you can see, it's a really easy way to manage and edit multiple posts, especially if you're an influencer or have a lot of advertising partners and you want to queue up posts so that you don't have to manage them on the fly when it's time to post them. This is extremely helpful and useful for someone like myself, especially for the Wolf Millionaire account, because of the captions and time and effort that I put into crafting the motivational or inspirational captions that I use on the account, which I usually do on the fly 15 minutes before each post, which can sometimes be a little bit stressful for me because I am no English major. I'm a computer nerd by heart and by education. So having the ability to work on multiple drafts throughout the week as ideas come to me or thoughts comes to me, it's really nice. It means I don't have to use a third-party app like Google Keep or another kind of, a notepad app to do this. Everything is now managed right in the Instagram app for me to save these drafts and to complete them and post them whenever I want. And so this is a really awesome feature. We saw this maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago in the beta testing for those of you that are signed up for Instagram's beta testing apps. I know a lot of my students were seeing this. A couple of them even created a bunch of drafts and were actually able to use those draft beta functionality to post to their own account, which is pretty cool. Now they've unrolled it to everybody to use. This is available on iOS and Android. I've tested it on both. It seems to be a little bit buggy on the iOS app. Sometimes it could be just because I created, 25 drafts. Could be a little bit of a buggy limit there. But, the odd time when I'm going to access these saved drafts, the app will crash. But, I go back in and open it up again, and it seems to work fine. So some minor bugs, but otherwise, the save drafts functionality is a huge time saver. I'm so excited, and all my students are super excited, as well as many other influencers that I've talked to super appreciate this new functionality. And that's it. If you're new to Wolf Millionaire, make sure you go to wolfmillionaire.com, sign up with your email address, and check your inboxes. We'll send you a free 20-page Instagram guide filled with my tips, tricks, and strategies that you can use right away to start growing your account faster, locking it down to be safe, and getting a better engagement. And again, if you want to learn everything that I know in 22 some hours of step-by-step walkthrough videos, make sure you go and sign up for my InstaWealth growth system and become my next successful testimonial student. Have a great week, guys.